Are you that friend that makes your birthday gifts last minute because you totally forgot to make something a month ago? Well, I'm going to show you guys 3 easy birthday gift ideas you can make using your Cricut. Hi, I'm Crystal. Welcome to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button as well as that notification bell down below so you don't miss any of our crafting tutorials. Birthday gift idea number 1, we are going to be sublimating a coffee mug without a sublimation printer. So we're going to be using Cricut Infusible ink, which is ultimately sublimation. It's just already printed out for you with really awesome designs. And the cool thing is, I actually found this at Hobby Lobby on the clearance. As you can see, for around $3.70, there were several different ones to choose from. This is one of the ones that I got. Love it, super duper excited. They even make this for the Cricut Joy. And Cricut has the Cricut mug press. So we're able to accomplish this with all of our Cricut things. So we're going to do a 15-ounce mug today using this design right here. So this one is designed for Cricut Infusible ink. You could definitely use it for whatever you wanted to, but it was designed with the Infusible ink in mind. Now this was actually designed out perfectly. So if you're using the 12-ounce mugs from Cricut, this is actually sized out perfectly for you, but we're actually using a 15-ounce mug. So I'm going to show you how to resize it. Now the really cool thing is Cricut actually made it now to where you can expand just using your sides. So there's actually a little arrow. It's hard to see because it's in black there, so you can see half of the arrow. But you can actually expand this now without having to come up here and hit the unlock button. The size that we need this to be for a 15-ounce mug is going to be 4 by 9.5. So what we're going to do first is just drag this guy out until we get that 9.5. So we're going to do that there. And then we are going to grab this and I'm going to bring it up just a little bit because I already had stretched that guy out. Now, if you're not getting it precise, at that point, you can always come up here, hit the unlock button. So it's just another option. You can definitely just do that up here. Hit 4, enter, make sure you lock it back. So this guy is 9.5 by 4. This is perfectly sized out for our 15-ounce mug. That's it. We don't need to change the color or anything because obviously we're using Infusible ink. So let's go ahead and make it. We're gonna hit make it. Once you hit make it, you're gonna have this screen here. We're gonna choose on the mat and confirm. When you're working with Cricut's Infusible ink, you definitely wanna make sure you turn your mirror on, just as if you were using HTV, heat transfer vinyl, also known as iron-on, because when we go to place this in that direction, we wanna make sure we're gonna read it correctly. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down with my paper trimmer 5 by 10. So let's go ahead and hit continue and choose our material. For our material, we're just simply gonna go to browse. I'm just gonna start to type out Infuse, just INF, and you can see Infusible ink transfer sheet. We're gonna choose that and hit done. So now what we're gonna do is take some of this Infusible ink. I've actually used this one before, so it's already been opened. So I'm just going to take it out of the box. Now, whenever you first open your box of Infusible ink, it's inside a little bag. Like I said, you're gonna cut that open, but you're gonna also find not only the designs wrapped up together, you will find your needed parchment paper as well. I think that's really cool that Cricut actually supplies that. So if you were making a t-shirt or tote bag or any of those things, you actually have that parchment paper included. If you don't end up using it with this, you can use it with your other projects. I'm gonna go ahead and use this design right here. Now, the one thing to keep in mind when it comes to Cricut's Infusible ink, it is sublimation, so it's going to come in much lighter. So the color that it's actually going to be is the color on the side of the box. For example, the one that I've chosen right now is this one right here. So always reference the colors on the box because as you can see, it's so much lighter until you apply heat. Another tip is before you start to actually cut this out with your Cricut, I would recommend to go ahead and turn on your mug press. That way you have time to heat that up. So mine's already ready to go. Let's go ahead and trim this guy down 5 by 10. So I'm gonna get that in there. Always cut your shorter amount first whenever it comes to all of your materials so you don't waste. So we're gonna cut it 5. All right, and then we're gonna trim it by 10. I'm gonna set all this out of the way and get ready to load it. For this project, I'm gonna go ahead and use my green mat. So I'm gonna get this down. And what you're gonna do is you wanna load this with the color up. So you don't wanna load it color down, you want the color up. So we're going to get this on one side to the next and just smooth everything out. just like that. And you're not gonna get that ink on your hands, so don't worry about a thing. All right, so once you have that down, you can definitely use your Cricut brayer tool, but it's good. So we're ready. I've already chose our material, so we are going to load this in our machine. Hit that load button, and we're gonna wait so we can hit go. While that's cutting out, let's go over our supplies here. You're gonna want some heat transfer tape. You're gonna need your coffee mug. This one right here is from Cricut, but you definitely don't have to use the Cricut brand. You can use any cup that is made for sublimation. So for example, you just can't run down to the Dollar Tree and use that mug. It doesn't have the sublimation coating, but this one right here is a Cricut brand, which you could grab locally at Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Target, lots of different places you can grab these blanks. One of the first things that you need to do too is go ahead and clean your coffee mug. You want to remove any sort of lint or debris from your mug. You definitely don't want to avoid this step because you can end up with some blue marks and things like that. So we're just gonna go ahead and rub that guy down, and then we are just gonna wait for this guy to finish up. Our Cricut has just finished up. We're gonna go ahead and hit the unload button, and then we're just going to flip this guy upside down so we can carefully remove it from our mat. And I'm gonna get my mat out of the way. The first thing you wanna do when you're done is you actually want to start popping this. You're gonna hear it just have these little pop crackle sounds. That's gonna help make your weeding a whole lot easier. So just go over your entire design, kind of bending and folding so you can get all of those pieces to weed out a whole lot easier. So you can kind of just roll it like this, roll it like this. Now, once you think you have done that good enough, you can go ahead and start to weed these pieces out. Now, the really cool thing about Infusible ink as well is that you can weed it by hand. You don't need your weeding pick or anything like that. You can really just weed this by hand. So I'm gonna get the outside border there, and then I'm gonna go through here and try to peel out all these pieces. So I'm gonna bring it up here so you guys can see that a little bit better. So I'm just going to pop this guy off. This entire outline here is going to come off, just like so. And you can always refer back to your design just to make sure you're not gonna remove anything. And so we're going to just keep popping all these little pieces out, just like that. It is so cool. I definitely think it's a ton of fun to work with as well. So you guys can kind of see that so far. So hopefully you guys can kind of tell what's happening there. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up and continue to pull out all of these pieces. And there we have it. We have everything weeded out. I'll bring it up here so you guys can kind of see on that side. You guys are able to see all of that coming through. So stinking cute. I think I've actually got a few more pieces. When you think you're done, you're not done. So I got a few more little pieces in here. Now, if you guys could see me while I was fast forwarding there with my tweezers, if you're ever struggling with a tiny little piece of like the inside of an S or an A or something's trying to come up, I just use those tweezers to kind of hold that guy down. Also to note, you see this little piece of white paper in here. You can sit there and pick that out if you want to, but honestly, as long as it's not coming on top of your design, you are good to go, as long as the ink is gone on top of that. So I'm gonna clean this up and we're gonna get ready to press it. I'm gonna go ahead and center this guy, make sure everything is nice and straight. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and take your heat tape and we're gonna just tape everything down. I'm gonna start by just getting a little piece across there in the center to help me hold everything. And then I'm gonna keep on adding tape. My tape dispensers have been just messing up. If you guys have been following me for a little while, you guys already know, I've talked about this a few times. I need to order a new big one, but I just haven't had the chance. So I'm just gonna get a couple more pieces of tape just to make sure everything's kind of held down. This does have adhesive a little bit around it from the Infusible ink carrier sheet already. And so I'm just going to get a couple more spots down and we're gonna get ready to press it. So I'm gonna get one more right here, just pulling nice and tight as I'm adding that tape. And I think I'll just pop one right up here. We're gonna go ahead and insert this in the mug press. So we're gonna get it in here and we're gonna go ahead and press it. So I definitely was off a little bit on my dimensions. So I did 4 inches. I would definitely do around 4.25 high. And then I did 9.5, I think it's 9.2 too 5. I think it went just a little bit too big on my edges there because I can see them on the outside. Now the really cool thing about the Cricut mug press, if you guys don't have one, is you're just simply going to turn it on, let it heat up, the light will turn green. There's 5 lights here, and every single minute, there's 5 minutes there, the light will turn solid, and then once it's done, it'll beep and you're going to pop it open. So easy to use. I really do love how user-friendly it is. So we're going to let this guy bake, and then we're going to check it out. We are down to our last few seconds, probably, I want to say around 30 seconds or so. What you're gonna need now is a towel, or if you have granite counters, obviously, or something like that, you just wanna make sure that it's a heat resistant surface. I'm just gonna be using my Cricut pad here. You heard the sound. We're gonna lift this guy up. The really cool thing about this too is the handle stays cold. So we're just going to grab that handle and then set it down. So you can let this cool down if you want to and then peel it, but I definitely like to do it while it's hot. A few more things I like to recommend is heat gloves. I will have some of these linked down below for you guys. These ones are actually We Are Memory Keepers, but there's some that's just like it, that's Amazon brand, but you could even get that comes with a tape dispenser and the tape and all of the things. So definitely check that out. So what we're gonna do is we are just gonna go ahead and carefully remove this in one quick motion, get that out of the way. And there you have it. How cute is this? So it's just a girl who loves books. So if you know somebody and you have a friend that loves books, this would make a perfect birthday gift. So it doesn't always have to say happy birthday. And that's why I definitely didn't want to include any sort of birthday ones. We have tons of stuff. So if you wanted something that was for a 50th birthday or 17th or somebody that was 6, you could definitely find those designs over on designbundles.net as well. But if you have somebody that loves books and you really want to make it personalized for something that they would love, you can definitely do it just like this. You can see how cool that design was using that Infusible ink. I'll actually bring that up so you guys can see it a little bit better. Those colors are gorgeous. Make sure you guys run over to Hobby Lobby, grab some of that clearance stuff. If you guys are watching this later, you can also snag that stuff on Cricut.com or on Amazon, as well as your local stores, Michael's, Hobby Lobbies, and all of the things. Birthday gift idea number 2 is a t-shirt. It is so easy to make a t-shirt for somebody very quickly. You could grab a t-shirt even locally at Walmart, honestly. Even the Dollar Tree is carrying t-shirts right now, but you have Hobby Lobby, Michael's, all of those kinds of places. For this one, I'm actually using a sarcastic bundle. I'll have it linked down below for you guys, but this one was perfect for any cat lover. Sorry I'm late, my cat was sitting on me. So if you guys are a cat lover or you know somebody that's a cat lover, something like this would make a perfect gift, and you're thinking of them and you know what they love. We have so many different SVGs that you guys could come up with whatever type of t-shirt you wanted to, whether it was something that was an animal lover or just a mama t-shirt or whatever. But today, like I said, we're gonna do one that's a little bit sassy and a cat lover. So I've got this design here. I've got my t-shirt. I have some just white HTV. I like to buy mine in big rolls like this because I use white and black so much, and then I buy my colors in the 12 by 12 sheets. So we're gonna trim this down once we figure out our size. So the very first thing that we're going to do is get this guy out here on our Cricut pad. I've got a Cricut pad, as well as I'm using that 9x9 Cricut Easy Press today. I know I use my 10x12 quite a bit, so I thought today I would pull out that 9x9 in case you have one. And then I do have a paper trimmer as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a tape measure so we can get ready to measure. You guys know I'm always using that bear. I actually bought this one like a year ago from Amazon. It's a little sock monkey guy. Let me show you guys. It is so cute. So if you guys have seen my bear one, it just comes right out the side right here. I actually grabbed this, like I said, on Amazon about a year, almost probably 2 years ago, and I never showed you guys, but I noticed recently his nose was falling off, but I need to bring him in here too. You guys need to be able to see this guy. So to find our measurement, this is actually a small, this is a Gildan small, and so I'm just gonna take my tape measure out here and kind of look at this and say, you know what, I think I want my design to be nice and big. So I think 9 inches looks pretty good. So let's start there. I'm simply just gonna go ahead and select our design, come up here to our width, hit 9 and enter. That's gonna give me 6.3 high. I'm gonna take my tape measure again and look at that, almost 6.5. I think that's going to be absolutely perfect. We've got our design sized out, ready to go. I don't need to change it to wide or anything like that. I know my materials, so we are ready. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit that make it button again, choose on the mat, continue. We are using heat transfer vinyl, so we are gonna turn on that mirror and we're gonna hit continue. For our material, we're gonna choose Everyday Iron-On. I am using Caesar Easy Weed, but Everyday Iron-On is the exact same in case you guys are a newbie. So we are just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna remove this tape got on here, which helps hold it in place. And then we're just going to stretch this guy out. I'm going to cut mine down 7 by 10. You always want to start with that shorter side first, once again, so we're not wasting material. Right away, I'm going to go put my tape back on here. I'm actually going to break this down to a smaller piece. I don't need this big piece anymore. I'm going to get this out of the way. So now we're just going to trim this to 10 inches. Just like so, because this piece will be perfect for some font, and I'm going to set it out of the way. For this project, I'm going to be using the blue mat. I do like to use the blue mat for my adhesive vinyl as well as my heat transfer vinyl. We're going to put the glossy side down, load it on the mat, and it's ready to go. So we're going to load it under those feet again, let it load in, and get ready to hit the go button. In the meantime, while this guy is cutting out, this is the perfect opportunity to turn on your Cricut Easy Press. I have mine set at 320 for 30 seconds. I actually put it for 20 seconds. I'm gonna bump that to 30 seconds. And we're gonna hit go on this at the same time. So I'm gonna get that guy at 30 seconds. So this guy's completely heated up and ready, but it's just the perfect opportunity when you're cutting this out because you still have to weed it, and this guy will be heated up and ready to go. Another thing you can do while this guy is cutting is we can go ahead and pre-press our t-shirt. It's a great time so you don't forget. It is very important to pre-press your t-shirts if you guys are also new, because you want to pull out that moisture and it's just going to smooth everything down so you don't have any sort of wrinkles. Our Cricut just finished cutting, so we are going to unload this, flip our mat over and pull it, and we're gonna get this guy out of the way. When you go to weed your HTV, to help speed that up and just get a little bit more of a easier transition, what you can do is heat up, I'm just gonna keep my t-shirt here, but you could just heat up your pad underneath, the Cricut pad. And so then you're gonna set this with the glossy side down, very important. Don't stick the adhesive because then it's gonna stick to the t-shirt. Stick it with the shiny side down. We're just going to warm this up for a few seconds, and that's gonna help you weed so much easier. If you guys did not see our Dollar Tree video where we did a whole crafting haul of crafting supplies, definitely check it out. I actually found this weeding tool for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. So once again, make sure you check that out. I'll have it linked up above. So while this is nice and warm, you're just gonna go ahead and start to weed it out. And if it starts to cool back down, you can just warm it back up and do it all over again. So whenever you get cooler weather, it does make your vinyl a little bit tougher, but you guys can see how easy that was by just warming it up. So if you guys have, like, this is Caesar Easy Weed, but even Caesar Easy Weed, once again, when it's cold, it will get a little bit tougher compared to your warmer months. So if you're struggling, no matter what brand it is, try it. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly pick these out. There we have it. We've got it all weeded out. I'll bring it up so you guys can see. Sorry I'm late, my cat was sitting on me. You guys let me know down below if you guys have cats or you know a cat lover that would absolutely love this t-shirt. We're going to fold it in half and just pinch the middle to figure out where our center is. Now, whenever you're trying to find your placement on the t-shirt, you just want to come down around 3 to 4 fingers, and then your center is right there where your neck tag is. So we're just going to come down just like that. We're going to place it on our t-shirt. Right about there looks good. And then we're gonna take our heat press and go right on top. I think this is going to cover everything. So as long as everything's covered, I can see a little piece over there. Everything's covered, you are good to go. So you're just gonna hold it down in place for 30 seconds. All right, so we're gonna lift this guy up and get it out of the way. Now, the really cool thing about customizing and personalizing t-shirts, you don't need a Cricut Easy Press. You can definitely accomplish this at home with a home iron. We've even done a tutorial on that. If you guys are interested, you can check it out. Now that I've got this area cleaned up, I'm ready to go. This is actually a warmer hot peel, so we're just going to peel it and we are good to go. Make sure you look at the brand of HTV or iron-on that you're purchasing or what material you're using. So, like, for example, the glitter HTV, you need to peel it cold. So always keep an eye on your material settings. But as you guys can see, this is so gorgeous. Love that white with this olive green. It is just super cute and would make the perfect birthday gift. So as you guys can see, like I said, love, love, love this. You guys let me know down below if you guys are gonna be recreating this, or if you guys have gifted a t-shirt for a friend or family member. It is just so easy, especially once again, you're running late, you forgot it was somebody's birthday, came up, but you wanna show up with a gift, make them a t-shirt. You could definitely wrap this with tissue paper, tie it off with some baker's twine, and just make it extra special. Birthday gift idea number 3 is going to be customizing hats. So you can make a personalized hat for somebody, whether it's a girl, a guy in your life. This is so much fun. Cricut came out with a hat press. So we have another press here. We have 3 presses in the house today. I have not made a hat in a while, but we actually did this. I don't know if we did this one live or if it's a video here on the channel. We've done some hats before. I'll show you guys that. So this would make a great one. This is a glitter one. I'll link it down below where I like to get my hats from. These are from CC Beanie. But this one here is just Boss Babe. It is super, super cute. But you could make it as extra special or just downright plain. Now the really cool thing is the Dollar Tree also carries hats. I almost grabbed one the other day and I really regret it right now in this moment because I just now thought of that. But my favorite hats to work with has always been the CC brand. I just love them for girls. This one has like a ponytail holder in the back. It is so stinking cute, and I really have found a good deal on these, and you don't have to have a wholesale license to buy them, and they're like half the price of what you would buy them at a boutique. So I love these, but you can definitely grab these ones. I don't know if they're CC brand or similar from Hobby Lobby as well, but like I said, making your own hat as a gift is super, super nice. So easy to work with. You're simply just going to turn it on, and then it has the same settings as like the little mini one where you can turn it 1, 2, 3. I just put it on the second setting, but you could definitely use your phone. There's an app that lets you know what settings to put it on, and it'll automatically set it for you. With the hat press, I do believe this came with it. Somebody let me know if it didn't. But the thing to keep in mind is this is made with walnut shells on the inside, so you definitely want to be safe on that. It does have a warning on it, but I always like to mention it. Anytime I've ever used this hat press, I have always mentioned that. So whether you're making a gift for somebody that is allergic to peanuts, be safe, as well as if you are using this in your own house. I always have to mention it. It's scary. It has walnuts in there. So this is the hat press. So what's really cool is we are going to be able to get our hat on here, just like this. I'm just gonna get this guy on here. All right. And it just makes it so easy. Now, my days of making hats, you want to make sure this little bill is out of your way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Make sure that bill's out of the way. We're just gonna pop this guy right back on here. Bill. I don't even think that's called a bill. This little, I think they call it like the sweatband. I like to get it out of our way. That way we're not gonna have that crease. So it's just gonna make it so much better. And then you can kind of pounce this guy. That's what's really cool about it, is with the walnuts in there, it just helps move it around, and you can get the perfect fit on that hat. So I'm already gonna have that guy ready to go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my tape measure and figure out the size that I'm looking for with my design. I'm thinking anywhere around 3.5 to 4 inches, and 2 inches should be good. So I'm gonna start with 3.5. So let's go over here to our design. I'm going to come up here to my width and do 3.5, enter, and let's see what that gives us. That gives us 2.5 high. So I'm going to double check myself here. See what that 2.5, that should be pretty good. If I wanted to, once again, with Cricut's new release, I could definitely manipulate that just a little bit. I'm gonna kind of squish it in. As long as everything stays good, you're gonna be good to go. Now, this design actually comes in a few different pieces, so you can change the paws to a different color, dog, mom, the heart, all of that. But I always just select everything and hit weld, and I had already done that. So this guy is completely ready to go, so we are going to hit make it. And we're gonna tell it that it's on the mat, confirm. And I am just simply going to use some black HTV for this, so that way it's gonna pop off. First thing we wanna do is go ahead and turn on that mirror because we are working with HTV. I'm gonna cut mine down 3x4. We're gonna hit continue. And so in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and trim that down. So just like before, we're going to choose the smaller number first. So we're gonna get that guy in here. We're gonna do 3 inches. We're gonna trim that guy down. We're gonna rotate it and cut it one more time at the 4 inches. So we got our 3x4. Now let's go ahead and choose everyday iron-on once again and get ready to load it on the mat. Shiny side down. We're gonna get that guy right up there at the top. All right, so we're gonna hit that go button. This is a pretty quick design, so we're gonna prep up our hat. We've already got it on our hat press. We've already heated up our hat press. We already have our hat on the hat form, if you will, and I do believe it comes with this. I believe I was talking about that earlier, but I think I get sidetracked sometimes. So it does come with it. So we are going to go ahead and just heat this guy up. Just like when you're working with a t-shirt or a tote bag or anything that is made with any sort of cotton or anything like that, you want to remove any sort of moisture, and that's going to give you a nice placement with your HTV. So we're just going to smooth all of that out, and that guy is ready to go. So now we can set that out of the way. We're just gonna wait for that to finish cutting so we can weed it out. We're gonna unload this guy, remove it from the mat, and I'm gonna get it out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly weed this guy out. Like I said, this is a pretty easy design. Speaking of this design, it actually came from this bundle right here. We have created the Mother's Day bundle for you guys. It is worth a little over $220, and you're gonna get it for $19. Now make sure you guys check it out, because as you can see right now, it has 35 days, but by the time you see this video, it may be pretty close to expiring. But the design that I'm using is actually this one right here, and it has lots of different dog mom designs. There's even another one in here for your cat lovers. Now that we have our design all weeded out, we are ready to put it on our I was gonna say t-shirt, we're ready to put it on our hat. Now, one thing that I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna trim away any of this extra that's down here at the bottom, just because it's gonna get in my way. So I'm gonna remove that. I'm trying to figure out about where the center is. This looks good to me. Now, the one thing I forgot to mention, whenever it comes to heat tape with your hat press, Cricut has actually came out with a strong heat tape, and it is very strong, and you only need little pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy here, cut it like that, and then honestly, this is more than enough. So I'm going to trim it again. We're gonna get one side held down. It's just gonna help hold it while we apply the heat. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna go ahead and hit that go button on our hat press and hold this guy down. Now when it comes to our hat press, just like your little mini easy press, you wanna go ahead and keep it with constant motion, rubbing this guy back and forth. Because if you don't, you're going to leave a crease on your hat, and you don't wanna do that. The other thing is you don't need strong pressure with this. I have found that as well. That will also leave a crease, if you will. You just wanna keep constant, even motion and have light pressure. So we're gonna do that until this guy beeps. All right, so we are good. I'm going to pick that guy up and get it out of our way, and we're gonna go ahead and check it. So once again, this is a hot peel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it at the corner and start to peel. So you can see that that piece was trying to come up with me. So I'm not gonna apply more heat. I'm just gonna give it a little bit longer. Another thing is sometimes I take my scissor ends here and I'll really rub that adhesive down. Adhesive HTV iron-on. I've learned some tricks of the trade after doing HTV and iron-on projects for years. It's not necessarily, you just need to give it a little bit more time. Also, whenever it comes to these creases and lines and stuff, it just kind of helps to really get those down in there and get that adhesive to go in between those. So I recommend doing stuff like that too. Another thing that I'll also use is my squeegee tool that I use for my adhesive vinyl as well. There we have it. We're gonna pull that up, and it is gorgeous. So now we can remove it from the hat press. I'm gonna bring it up so you guys can check that out. Super, super cute. And there you guys have it. This is absolutely gorgeous. Would make a perfect birthday gift, especially once again, last minute. This would also be a great one for dad. So baseball caps and stuff, if you were making a gift for your son or nephew, grandpa, you could do all sorts of different designs. So don't just think about me doing dog mom here. These are the same things that can be done for men. Same thing with that t-shirt. You could do a version that's perfect for the guy in your life. Same thing with that coffee mug. Do something that is perfect for grandpa, dad, uncle, husband. You do whatever you have to do. So I'll bring this guy up so you guys can check it out a little bit better. The color is so gorgeous, but just using something as simple as the black on a color like this. Once again, this one has the ponies, which is so stinking cute. So we have made a hat, we've made a t-shirt, and then we also have our coffee mug for our book lovers in our life. Now there is tons and tons of SVGs out there. If you do have a sublimation printer, you can still use it with your Cricuts too. You can do the print and cut where it automatically cuts out, or just simply use your paper trimmer. But you could also do adhesive vinyl projects on cups. The Dollar Tree has so many to choose from, so definitely check that one out if you guys are looking for a very inexpensive DIY birthday gift. So there you have it. There was 3 DIY birthday gifts you can make using your Cricut. I hope you guys have enjoyed this content. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It definitely helps us, and leave a comment down below. I always love reading your comments, and our moderators that are down there chatting it up with you guys keep me informed all of the time and let me know all of the amazing things that you guys are saying. Thank you guys so much for shining your positivity and just kindness towards me over the last several years. I've enjoyed crafting with you guys, and if you guys are new here, once again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss any of our crafting tutorials.